November's election is incredibly important and the stakes can't be overstated. This is in large part because the two political candidates for president, Donald Trump and Kamala Harris, have very different approaches that they intend to take to both domestic and international economic policy. Let's be clear, they agree on many of the objectives. They agree on the strategic competition with China being an imperative for shaping how the United States engages to build not only its own domestic industrial capacity, but also to place itself strategically at the very frontier of technological competition. But the way the administrations would go about achieving this objective is likely very different. I would expect a Harris administration to follow the pattern set forth in the Biden administration already of working very closely with partners and allies, recognizing that strategically it is imperative to act in cooperation with other countries, key partners, and again, key allies around the world, not least in East Asia and in Europe, to secure the frontier of technology and do it together. If the United States tries to make economic policy all by itself, whether that's enforcing export controls or something like imposing sanctions if and when needed, and here's where I am particularly concerned that a Trump administration, if elected, would once again take a my way or the highway approach. And unilateralism, when it comes to economic security, simply does not work. So that's one of the key differences. That said, either administration will face some really core challenges in domestic policy, in domestic economic policy, in ways that will extend to the international realm. One of the most important and unfortunately under the radar challenges that lies ahead is the expiration in just a couple of years of the 2017 Tax Cuts and Jobs Act. That's a huge tax cut that will expire, but it's very popular and bipartisan. Both sides of Congress in the United States are likely to want to extend those tax cut provisions. That leaves us with an enormous fiscal hole. The question then is how either party would try to shape the U.S. tax code, generate necessary revenues to continue to make key expenditures to maximize our domestic economic and national security. Here, I think the problem set is going to be the same for both parties, but the kinds of objectives, the kinds of priorities that you would see under either administration are very, very different.